Now, our next guest used to look like this. And since getting her first tattoo at 15, Becky Holt now looks like this.
Amazing.
Very glamorous.
After going under the needle hundreds of times, Becky now believes she is the most tattooed woman, and mum, in fact, in Britain. More than 95% of her skin is now covered in ink, including most of her intimate areas too.
And Becky joins us now to tell us more. Good morning,
Hi, guys.
Becky.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on.
A pleasure.
Thank you so much for coming on, and in a bikini, no less. But it's like, tell us about where this fascination started. When did you get your first tattoo?
So I was always into body modification from a young age. I just sort of thought it was, like, really cool, and I liked how different it was, and I liked people that, like, stood out and stuff. And so I had my first tattoo when I was 15 years old.
OK.
It was not a wise decision. I had my boyfriend's name tattooed directly across my crotch. Obviously, that doesn't exist anymore. But that's when the obsession, like, really started.
Because you split up with that boyfriend, so then you
I broke up with him and I carried on getting tattooed. I used to look at the women on Bazaar magazine. They were always dressed, like, heavily in latex, and they were, like, these models, they were pin-ups, they looked gorgeous, and I just thought, that's what I, want to be. I want to be one of these tattoo models. And I did actually get the cover in 2014.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny because we showed that picture of what you used to look like, and you smiled. I don't know if you can see that again back. What do you think when you look back?
That it's not me.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look anything like me. I've had loads of surgery and I've had, obviously, lots of tattoo work done. So when I look at that picture, it's just, it's not me.
What was Becky back then like? And how did she compare to the Becky that we're
Becky
meeting?
back then was a nightmare. No, she was wild.
Right.
I'm not wild anymore. A little bit.
So, interestingly, as you've tattooed your body and you've had the surgery that you're talking about, that sort of calmed you down a little bit?
I think having a child is what calmed me down.
Oh,
yes.
Children will do that.
Yeah, they
Babies will do that. But you say that you love tattoos. Aesthetically, you love the look of them. And I have to say,
thank you.
It's really pretty.
It's like a frame.
It is.
Yeah, really
it's
arresting.
really pretty around your face. But you hate having them done.
Oh, it's horrible having them done. They're so painful. And I'm totally, like, past it now. Like, I'm bored of it. I've sat for hundreds of hours. And also, I'm updating them. I'm tattooing over the tattoos I've already got. So that's scar tissue. So when you're tattooing over scar tissue, it's so much more painful.
Oh, is
so,
it?
yeah, I tend to numb them now. I've earned my stripes. I just numb them to try and get it over. You still feel it. You still feel a bit of pain with it. But, yeah, it's long sessions, long days, lots of time, lots of effort. And then the process after. It's painful afterwards.
Recovery.
Yeah, and then it's itchy for, like, 3 weeks afterwards as well. Like, I've got one brand new one at my thigh at the moment that's really itchy. But, yeah, it's worth it. It's worth the pain. It's worth the process.
Can we get you to stand up? Because
Yeah,
I mean,
of
you're
course
like
you
a sort of work of art, all of you, and you can get sort of a sense...
Would you like me to do a little spin?
Yeah, please do.
Do you mind?
Yeah.
No, of course not.
Sorry, Becky.
It's extraordinary.
Wow.
And as Kat was saying, I mean, we can see the tattoos we can see, but there's some parts of your body, the more intimate parts of your body, that you've had tattooed as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
What made you want to do that?
Oh, God, it just stuck out. You could see it.
Because it was the bit that wasn't.
Yeah, so where my... Can I say...
Yes, of course you can.
Where my vagina is, basically, or my lady area.
Yes.
It was tattooed right down to the lip.
Right.
And then you could just see the lip.
Right.
It really stuck out, so I was like, I'm going to have to tattoo it. So it took 3 sessions.
And this was you looking at, because, I mean, not everyone's going to get to see that
No,
part
of course,
you,
it's
so...
just like, this is my suit. I don't really do it for anybody else.
Right.
It's me, and it's my tattoos for me. And so when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and obviously I used to model as well, and it just stuck out for me. I saw it and I said, I need to tattoo that. So, yeah, I ended up having it tattooed.
So can I ask you, what was the process like? Because I was looking on your Instagram, and obviously you've had so many done.
Yeah.
And when you're looking and you're getting it done at that time, which you don't see
No,
anything,
you can't see
like
it. You
it's
can't
nothing.
show that on Insta.
But you look in so much pain.
Yeah, no, it's horrific. It is awful. It took 3 sessions. The first one was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Which is just the line work. And then a couple of weeks later, I went back and had the colour done on one side. And then a few weeks later, I went and had the colour on the other side. It was horrific. Like, it's just ripping, burning, not nice at all. Horrible.
And you said before when we were asking you about it and the whole process, you were saying it burns and then it itches and it lasts for days. Like, how do you pee and things?
It was okay. It was just swollen, and it was just, you just have to be careful. A little bit stingy, but it actually healed really quickly.
OK.
Yeah, I guess the skin there's a little bit different.
Yes.
So it did heal a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Becky, was it worth it?
Yeah. totally. It looks amazing.
Does it?
Do you want to see? I'm joking. I'm joking.
The late night version of this morning is available later.
We're back to the word again. Looking at you, as you say, the hours and hours you spent under the Tourist needle is extraordinary. What about the cost? Because tattoos aren't cheap, particularly some of the really extraordinary art you've got.
Yeah, so they're worth about 30k.
So
I think about 30,
value.
30
And is that
grand.
what you've had to spend on them?
I've been sponsored. I've been very lucky. So a lot of tattoo artists have wanted to work with me because of my following and for like my name in the tattoo industry. I go to conventions and stuff, and people know who I am as I'm the most tattooed woman and stuff like that. So yeah, it's great for them to be tattooed. Sorry, for them to tattoo me.
Right. OK, so they get some PR from it as well.
Is there anything you wouldn't get tattooed? And is there anything you want to do more?
So at the moment, I'm just updating everything that I've got, all the existing work. The things that I wouldn't do is basically go any more on my face. I'm happy with how I look with my face. I don't want to do my eyeballs or anything like that.
Sounds awful, because you have to go blind, right?
Yeah, I know a girl in Australia who's had it done, and she went blind for 3 weeks, and I just think about that and I think, no.
As a result of the tattooing?
Yeah, for 3 weeks she was blind. She's had it done again. Since then, she's gone back and had it redone. She originally had them blue, now she's got them black. And I do think it looks cool, like visually, when I look at girls that have got them tattooed, I think, oh, that's really, really cool. I just won't do it to myself. Sure. Yeah, not up for it.
And you've got a daughter, a little girl. What does... I mean, I know she's little, but what does she make of it? And what is it sort of... You know, if she was to ever turn around and say, Mum, I think I fancy getting a tattoo, is that something you'd encourage?
I mean, she loves them. She's really interested. When my friends come round that have got tattoos, she's like, oh, you've got tattoos. We put little transfers on her as well.
Right.
So she's interested. And, yeah, if she wants to get tattooed when she's older, I'll tell her she can, but she has to go to somebody that I choose.
Yes.
Really good. I don't want her to make the mistakes that I did as a young...
No boyfriends' names.
No boyfriends' names at all. No symbols of languages that you don't actually know what they are.
Yeah.
Things like that.
I've got a mate from school who's got one of those. Yeah,
I've had them as
he
well.
thought it was something else, and it wasn't what he thought.
We've all been there.
And what's been the most painful for you?
Oh, the palm.
Really?
My palm was honestly, single-handedly, the most painful experience of my life. It was this bit here. It was just so unbearable. I cried my eyes out. I had to stop, and I was like, I can't believe I'm actually shedding tears of real pain. But then I went back and had more done. So, you know, it didn't hurt that much.
And are there any that you really, like, despise? Because we were chatting about it earlier this morning, and we were saying, would you ever... Because we've both not got any. And mine was because I could never figure out what I would want to have forever, and I'd want to change my mind, and it's a woman's prerogative to do that. And have you got any that
I mean, I don't particularly like my hands, but then I don't like my hands before they were tattooed. Do you know if you've got a part of your body that you just don't like? Mine's my hands. I don't like my hands. So, I had this, like, sort of floral decoration,
that goes
and then across it says, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." Now, I'm not religious in the slightest, and I think I just made a decision when I was quite young to have them done. And when I look at other tattoos on people's hands now, I'm like, oh, I wish I had that. That would look much better. But then it's the process of lasering it off. It takes too long. It's very, very painful. So I'm just sort of, I'll finish everything else, and then maybe I'll sort them out.
What do you say to people who say, "Oh gosh, look, you look amazing, Becky," but as you get a bit older? What's it going to look like as you get a bit older and your skin's not quite as taut and as firm? And
I feel like I'll look really interesting when I'm older and I'm in a home. I think that the people that work at the home would far rather speak to me than the people that don't have tattoos, because I'll have an interesting story to tell.
Yeah.
But I'm not bothered. You know, I'm living for the moment right now. I don't really care what I look like when I'm 60. No. You know, maybe I'll regret it. Who knows?
Amazing.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.